Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at VeChain. It's been a couple of days since we've looked at this, so we're going to go over what we think is going to happen and where we think we are going from here. So first, before we jump into that, I'd like to say thank you for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and why not leave us some feedback in the comment section down below. So let's jump into the video. There is a video that we went over some more of the macro sort of side of these moves with VeChain. So if you'd like information for that, please jump into the Crypto Rosetta channel and just search VET, and it'll come up within the search results. Okay, so basically, within these shorter term moves, what we were looking for is the potential that we were in this fourth wave to the upside now. The last time we were looking at it, we were still looking for this fifth wave, which seems to be completed, though we will go over a scenario where we have potential to drop further down in an extension, but we'll do that later. First, I want to just talk about this move. So this could be a completed fourth wave into this high point here. As we can see, this came up into the bottom area of this box, and we could start to break down. However, I do think we potentially have a bit more upside to go here. So this fourth wave, I think, is still in progress, but basically dropping below this 1562 would invalidate that point, and we would be looking for this target area down here then potentially as our end target for this fifth wave. So that would be between this 1541 and this 1507 zone. So this is what we are currently looking at. I'm currently having a look at the potential that we have. This is an A wave, so A, B, C. So that's a three-wave move. And then potentially we've completed a three-wave move to the downside here. If this is the case, however, what we would be looking for is the potential that now actually we are starting to form the C wave to the upside. If we come down into an even smaller time frame here for 1 second, basically what we could be looking for is the fact that we have this is a 1 2, this is a 1 2 3 4 5, so we'd have a 5-wave move developing in here, so it's actually probably more likely to have something. So that would be 1 2 1 2. There would be, if this is the case though, it would have to be a diagonal because this fourth wave would have come down too deep, and it would have crossed this wave 1, so we would have to be looking at it as a diagonal, but effectively what we'd be looking at for confirmation of this was the potential. We have this 1 2 3 4 5, so this would be a 1 2, and then we've got some kind of an extension within this move. For this to start playing out, what we'd be looking for is a move to above the 1619 zone, which would indicate that we have this third wave playing out. We'd look for a fourth wave and then an additional fifth wave to the upside. If this plays out as we have it indicated here, the target area for this would be this 1626 to the 1622 zone. And what that would do is have a 5-wave move like this, where you could potentially then have an additional fifth wave within this, where this is 1, 2, this is 3, 4, and 5, which we would then look to target out slightly higher with this move, and it would be looking to target out potentially around. Obviously, this is these moves are if we don't have any extensions within the waves, so we just need to bear that in mind. If we have a lot of extension within these waves, it could overshoot these zones, but this is the basic, like the general gist of what we're looking for. So we could see a move up in a 5-wave move, potentially up into these zones here. If I just put that back on, let's get rid of this one, into the 1632 to the 1627 area. However, breaking back down below this 1590 area would actually invalidate this potential, and we would be looking potentially for complete continuation to the downside. If we do, however, form this 5-wave move to the upside like we have here, what we'd be then looking for is a potential retracement down again towards this 50% to the 786 zone. So depending exactly where this fifth wave would end up, effectively we could look to retest the 1610 zone all the way to this 1599 area, maybe retest some of the support and resistance here, and then look to move up again. If we did move down towards the 50% or the 618, like I said, this all depends exactly where these waves form. But if we go down to the 50%, so let me just throw this onto here, up into this high point here, down to this 50. What we could potentially look for is a bigger 5-wave move to the upside. And if that was to play out, what this would look at doing is if I just actually slide this over to the side here for 1 second. Oh, it won't let me. Okay, so let me just mark it out and then I'll move it out the way. So that would be a 1, down in it to looking for this as a third wave confirmation, fourth and a fifth. If this plays out, what we would have is the typical third wave travel would be this 16,070, sorry, 1676 area. And what we would be looking for then is a retracement towards this 382 zone, and then a push to the upside for this fifth wave, and it would look to potentially target out this zone here of this 1692 to the 1682 range. So this would be a completed five wave move. If this does play out like this, we could see that this would also challenge this previous fourth wave area and bring us deeper into this box zone. So it is possible that this could actually play out, and then all of this would become a fourth wave, and then we'd look to push down to this zone after that. Depending exactly where this fourth wave completes, we'll slightly adjust this target area. So we just need to bear that in mind. This could take some time to play out though, but if it does play out as we have it indicated here, because we would be wanting to form this five wave move, then we'd have that retracement, then look for that third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave to the upside. So that's what we'd be looking for that. If I just remove these from here, and so like I said, that 1-to-1 is the 1683 area. That would basically be a completed ABC to the upside. So now if we just quickly switch this off, because there are some alternatives. If I remove this extension, what we could also potentially look for if we turn on, actually we'll turn that on, and then we'll look for this one. If we look at this as a fourth wave completed here, because it has technically moved into this box, there is potential that we could find, we could look for this as a extension to the downside. And if I just make sure that I haven't got, no, I don't. Okay, so with this move, effectively what we'd be looking for is the potential to form this ABC to the upside. So if we're looking at this move here, if we fail to form break above the 1628 zone, what we might get is, like I said before, we could see potential that we have this as a 1, 2, this is 3, 4, and a 5, and then we have this whole move as an A wave to the upside. We could look for a B wave and then a C wave back to this high point here. It is possible that we've already completed this A wave and we are looking to, and we have done this B wave here, and we're looking at this as a B, and a C to the upside. If that is the case, what we'd be looking at is a target area of this zone here of this 1611. We can see that this would also tie in quite nicely with this previous support zone that we had here and lost. So it could be look to retest that and then look to break down from there. If this does play out, this could be either just a completed ABC and we look to break down, taking out this low of 1590 and then looking to move down and take out this 1562 zone, in which case we'd be looking for evidence that we're actually within this third wave move to the downside. So that's basically moving across this 1553 would be a typical third wave move, and we would be then looking for this continuation to the downside, potentially all the way down to this 1537 zone to this 1525 zone. We can also see that this lands us quite nicely within this other fifth wave box that we had here, and this was worked off of a macro structure, which would then be looking at this 1541 and this 1507 as a range for what we could look to complete. So dropping straight down into this zone would actually work out quite nicely in terms of confluence between these zones, though we'd need more confirmation because there does look to be a little bit of upside possibility here. So that's what I'm looking for. If we manage to stay below the 1628, either we could have an ABC completed like this, or alternatively we could develop a more complex structure where we form an A, we drop down, maybe retest this low point, and then look to push up for another C wave, all staying within the 1620 zone to the 1609 area. Breaking above the 1628 would invalidate this five wave move to the downside that I have marked out and would make me believe that we're actually looking for that upward target of that ABC. So that is what we're looking for within these two options. There is a possibility we could start to break down here, though I am sort of leaning towards a little bit of a push up before we do. It's whether that push up can manage to break back above these 1628 and this 1654 zone. Moving back above that would invalidate this move. So if I just switch this back over to the we'll take this off, and the breakout count. So this count is a lot more speculative and basically looking for the potential that actually we completed into this low and we don't have this fourth and fifth wave to play out. And what we'd be looking at here is the potential that this is a 1, 2, this is a 1, 2, and then we're looking to progress in this third wave move to the upside here. This third wave move, if it looks to play out in this breakout count, like I said, this is probably my least likely option that I think currently. But if we do start to see some impulsive structure coming off the back of this, it is possible that we could look to for this to play out. The reason I don't really like it is because we have come so deep with this as a wave two. It's possible that we could get something else here, and actually that's just an A and a B, like we talked about for that C wave looking to the upside. But nevertheless, should we start to develop impulsive structure, and potentially what we'd be looking for here is to develop a 5-wave move down the bottom here. Actually, let me go back to the 1-hourly time frame. There we go. So potentially to look to form a 5-wave move here, whether that's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. However, there's not enough real evidence here to say that we are in a 5-wave move because we have had this overlap. So it's possible that it's a diagonal and we look to complete this, and then, like I said previously, we find that retracement to the downside and then form that 5-wave move. But basically what we'd be wanting to do is form a wave 1 here, look for that wave 2, we'd look for that 3, 4, and a 5. But this 5-wave move, if we were looking to develop into this green 5-wave move here, effectively this one would have to cross this. Well, it doesn't have to, but this is a typical area that it crosses. And until it gets sort of within this zone, we just have to be careful. It is still possible to have a 5-wave move that doesn't reach this, but it becomes less probable unless there's an extension within the fifth wave or something to that effect. So, you don't want to. It's more likely that it's in the third. So this is what we'd be looking out for. Moving up towards the 1705. If we do move up towards the 1705 zone, then that would indicate potentially that we have a bigger 5-wave move here that is actually looking to target out this higher zone here of the 1781 to the 1757. Though we would need this green 5-wave move to move up and cross the 1740 zone. Failing to do so would make it less likely that we're going to get this fourth wave move and the fifth wave move to the upside. It doesn't invalidate it, but basically at that point, if we fail to move above this area, we'd have to be looking for evidence of this fourth wave move. If we fail to see it, it could look to break down, and actually what we do, if I just throw this back on here, then what we could actually look at is that even if we do form this green 5-wave move here, that could just be a zigzag to the upside, and then it looks to break down. So we just need to bear that in mind. If we fail to get this additional fourth and fifth wave here, and we fail to cross above this 1740 zone, it becomes more likely that we're not going to get this fifth wave. So we just need to bear that in mind. However, at the moment, I do think that we have some upside potential here, provided we stay above this 1584 and this 1562 zone. Then we could still, like I said, look for that one-to-one target of this ABC to the upside, which I think is the most likely option. But we'll have to continue to see how this plays out and see if we do get this 5-wave move to the upside, or potentially maybe we could be looking at something else here which just hasn't formed well enough for us to see, like potentially a triangle within this move. And if it were a triangle, basically we'd have to take this as our A wave high here, and basically we would be looking at something to this effect playing out. There isn't enough evidence for this yet, so it's a possibility, but it's not very likely because we don't have enough structure. So we could potentially have a completed B wave in this low point here, and then we could actually look to form something like this. Like I said, this is speculative for the time being. We don't have enough information. We'd need to have these additional C and D legs before we could clarify anything, but it is possible we could look to form some kind of a triangle move within here because we are looking for a fourth wave. It is just one possibility. So yes, basically that is what we're looking out for. We need a bit more time for the market to show its hand, but we have our little price points, and staying above this 1562 and this 1590 allows us to look for more potential to the upside. Breaking this 1562 would actually make me start looking towards this target area here and a fifth wave looking to complete in this zone. That being said, once we do move down here, provided that we don't get any further extensions within this move, and what I mean by that is we just need to be careful because we don't want to. We've had some extensions already in these waves, so it's not until we get a completed structure, it's very difficult to actually tell where we are in relation to the extensions. So a move past this 1475 would make me actually indicate what it would actually indicate that what we have here is further extension within this move, and this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and we'd actually be looking to move much deeper. There isn't anything really at the moment within the structure that is saying that that's going to happen, though it is possible, and we need to bear that in mind. If we do break down and we actually break through this zone, it's possible we still have some further extension that we haven't taken into account, and we will have to reevaluate the waves until then. But for the moment, these are sort of my lines in the sand, and we've got a roadmap of where we think this is going, so we just need to monitor it and see how it gets on. I do think that we are within a fourth wave looking to target out this area, like I said, but failing to break back above this high point here at 1654 would actually make me start looking at the potential that we've already started this drop. I hope that everyone found the video useful, and if they did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. It really does help the channel out, and leave us some feedback in the comment section down below. This also helps us out. So any help from you guys is really appreciated, and I hope that you all have a great day and you've had great holidays with your families and friends. And we're just to say we really appreciate your support. Once again, thank you everyone, and we will see you in the next video. Take care out there.